Attention passionate Chicago, Bears fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Chicago Bears' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Chicago Bears fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Chicago Bears fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been paying attention to the NFL news cycle lately, you know that the Chicago Bears are sitting at a pretty interesting crossroads when it comes to their roster, especially at the wide receiver position. And the buzz is getting louder about what the Bears might do in the upcoming free agency period, which is just around the corner. The question that's been on everyone's mind is whether Chicago is going to try to re-sign Keenan Allen, the six-time Pro Bowl wide receiver they acquired during the 2024 offseason, or if they're going to let him walk and focus on other options. But here's the thing, the clock is ticking, and decisions need to be made quickly. Keenan Allen, folks, he's still an elite route runner, a guy who's been one of the most consistent wideouts in the league for years. Even at 32, he's shown he can still produce at a high level. Last season, he was a reliable target, though he faced some injury setbacks. But his experience and leadership on and off the field are invaluable, especially for a young quarterback like Caleb Williams, who the Bears are eyeing to mold into the franchise quarterback of the future. If Chicago decides to keep Allen, it would mean investing in proven production, a veteran presence that can help accelerate the development of their young offense. But if they choose to let him go, they might find themselves in a tricky spot, especially with a roster that's still trying to find its identity after some tough seasons. Now, the interesting part is that, according to CBS Sports' Garrett Podell, the Bears aren't exactly considered the frontrunners to re-sign Allen. His prediction, based on current roster needs and market dynamics, points to other teams as more likely destinations for the veteran receiver. But that doesn't mean Chicago is out of the picture entirely. In fact, there's speculation about who they might target if they decide to pivot away from Allen. And here's where it gets fascinating. Podell mentions a name that might surprise some fans, Amari Cooper. Yes, that's right, the former $100 million wide receiver who's been a significant player in the league for years. Cooper's season in 2024 was a bit of a down year, split between the Cleveland Browns and Buffalo Bills, finishing with only 44 receptions for 547 yards and 4 touchdowns. Not quite up to his usual standards, especially considering his 5 Pro Bowl selections in the past and 7 seasons surpassing 1,000 receiving yards. But don't forget, Cooper's track record shows that he's capable of much more. He's a 5-time Pro Bowler, and in the seasons before 2024, he was a consistent 1,000-yard receiver, often surpassing that milestone with ease. So, why would the Bears be interested in a guy like Cooper? Well, it's not just about past glories. It's about what he can bring to a team that's looking to add depth and experience to their receiving core. The Bears, after all, have DJ Moore as their primary target, and they've got young talent like Rome Odunze in the pipeline. But with Allen potentially leaving, they need someone who can step in and contribute right away. Cooper could be that guy, especially considering his familiarity with offensive systems and his ability to make plays when it counts. Plus, his recent struggles might actually work in Chicago's favor from a financial perspective, lowering his price tag into a more manageable range. In terms of salary expectations, Spotrac projects his annual salary will still be above $14 million, but with a down year in 2024, his market value might dip, giving Chicago a realistic shot at bringing him in without breaking the bank. And let's not forget, the Bears traded a 4th-round pick last offseason to acquire Allen, along with the hefty $23.1 million cap hit. That shows they're not afraid to make bold moves if it means improving the roster quickly. So don't be surprised if their new offensive coordinator or head coach sees value in taking another swing at adding a veteran receiver like Cooper. It could be a strategic move to bolster the offense, especially in a division where having reliable weapons can make all the difference. Now, it's worth mentioning that the Bears are in a unique position right now. They're still in the process of building around Caleb Williams, who many believe could be the answer at quarterback for years to come. The offensive line is improving, and the defense is on the rise after some smart drafts and free agent signings. But the receiver position has been a point of concern, especially since losing DJ Moore as their primary deep threat and playmaker. With Moore, they have a legitimate number one receiver, but depth behind him is lacking. Tyler Scott is currently penciled in as the WR3, but he's still unproven at that level. So, bringing in someone like Cooper could provide immediate stability and veteran leadership in the receiver room. It's also important to consider the potential impact of Cooper on the offensive scheme. Bears' new offensive head coach, Ben Johnson, is known for his creative play calling and ability to maximize the talents of his skill players. A veteran like Cooper, who has extensive experience and a knack for getting open in tight coverage, could be a perfect fit for Johnson's system, especially if the Bears are looking to diversify their offensive attack and create more explosive plays. Having a receiver with Cooper's route-running ability could be a real game-changer. Of course, there are other factors at play. The NFL is all about timing and cap management. The Bears will have to weigh the cost-benefit of signing Cooper versus investing in younger, cheaper options, or even drafting a receiver high in the upcoming draft. But the fact remains that Cooper's experience and past production make him a very intriguing option for Chicago. It's a move that could pay dividends in the short term while also providing mentorship for the younger players on the roster. Now, looking ahead, the NFL free agency period begins on March 12, and the buzz is intensifying. The Bears have a lot of decisions to make in the coming weeks, and fans are eager to see what direction the team will take. Will they roll the dice and try to re-sign Keenan Allen? Or will they pivot and go after a seasoned veteran like Amari Cooper? Or maybe they'll explore other options entirely. Regardless, one thing is for sure, the Chicago Bears are actively shaping their roster for the next chapter, and this offseason could be one of the most pivotal in recent franchise history. The division itself is also shifting. The NFC North has become more competitive, with the Detroit Lions and Minnesota Vikings both making significant moves in recent years. The Green Bay Packers are rebuilding, but they're not to be underestimated, especially if they find stability at quarterback. The Bears need to respond with smart, strategic moves to stay ahead and build a roster capable of contending for the playoffs and ultimately a Super Bowl. That's why every decision they make in free agency, especially at key positions like wide receiver, will be scrutinized by fans, analysts, and opponents alike. And let's not forget the broader context. The NFL landscape is more competitive than ever. Teams are investing heavily in their passing games, recognizing the importance of having a reliable, dynamic receiver core. The Bears, with DJ Moore as their centerpiece, are trying to position themselves as a team that can match firepower with any division rival. Their strategy might involve adding a veteran like Cooper to ensure they aren't just competing now, but also setting up a sustainable, winning future. So, whether Chicago ends up re-signing Keenan Allen or adds someone like Amari Cooper, you can be sure they're not just making moves for the sake of it. Every decision is calculated, aimed at elevating the team and making a statement in the NFC North and the NFL as a whole. The offseason is where legacies are built, and the Bears have a real chance to reshape their destiny if they make the right choices now. Fans should stay tuned because the next few weeks will be critical, and the moves they make could be the difference between a playoff appearance and another tough season. Pause here, just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Chicago Bears news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Looking ahead, the Bears' strategy at wide receiver could define their entire offseason. Will they prioritize veteran leadership and immediate production? Or will they gamble on younger, cheaper options and draft a receiver high? The truth is, adding a seasoned veteran like Cooper might be the move that propels them into real contention, especially if his price drops due to recent struggles. The team's front office and coaching staff have shown they're not afraid to take calculated risks, and this offseason could be no different. The story of the Bears' offseason is still being written, and it's likely to be filled with surprises. What's certain, though, is that every move they make, especially at the wide receiver position, will have ripple effects that could shake up the NFC North and even the NFL landscape. Fans should keep their eyes peeled and stay engaged because this is exactly the kind of offseason that could set the tone for years to come. Whether it's re-signing Allen, bringing in Cooper, or another player entirely, the Chicago Bears are positioning themselves for a serious push, and the fans are right in the middle of it. So buckle up and get ready for an exciting ride. This offseason might just be the most pivotal in recent franchise history. And now, Chicago Bears fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Chicago Bears. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Chicago Bears news.